Bramlage Coliseum at Kansas State University. One of the liveliest environments in college basketball. But it wasn't always this way. No, years of mediocrity had dulled the fan base until finally in 2006, the Wildcats found a knight in purple armor. While Bob Huggins was in Manhattan for only one season, the foundation of what he began certainly lives on today. Well, the lineup for the visitors from Morgantown: Brown, Hines, Harris, Noreen, and Kalichla will open for Coach Huggins. And for Coach Bruce Weber and Kansas State, Rodriguez, the out there was Spradling, Magruder, Southwell, and Henriquez. This team is coming off a very impressive performance over the weekend here against the Baylor Bears. So here we go. Henriquez and Kalichla will start us off. Tap easily controlled by the Wildcats, and they'll come down with their first set. The veteran Joe DeRosa here with Doug Sermons and Don Daly to officiate. And right away, a quick foul is called against Jabari Hines.
Here's a matchup you want to watch, Brent. Gary Brown guarding Rodney Magruder, because they're going to screen for Magruder all night long.
Southwell handling. He's been a big addition. Good three-point shooter for the Wildcats. Rodriguez, after a defensive switch, has got Brown on him, and Spradling now has Hines. And over the top, and it wouldn't stay down. Did everything but stay in. It was about two-thirds of the way down, Frank.
Yes, good penetration by Southwell, who's got a mismatch with Kevin Noreen, a bulky post player.
Now we watch the Mountaineers' first possession. Knocked away from Kalichla and out of bounds with 20 on that shot clock, and Rutledge is up immediately for Coach Huggins, and he will replace Kevin Noreen.
I think that's a matchup substitution, because Rutledge can stay with Southwell.
Kalichla is out high. Hines tries to get it in low to Rutledge, back to the basket, backs it down, comes right baseline, has to kick it outside. Now Kalichla, left-handed hook shot, wrap around, yes, stays down for the young man from Istanbul, Turkey.
Well, you know which way he wants to go, Brent. He's going to go to that left hand. Very nicely done.
Rodriguez far away from the basket.
Motion offense, lots of screening.
Magruder out, misfiring, and it's going to be tracked down by Brown. Brown saves it nicely. High screen for him. Kalichla out of his comfort zone out there. Now he'll put it down and attack. Traveling wasn't called. Here comes Harris, puts it on the deck. Best score, blocked Henriquez beautifully. Brown controls for the Mountaineers. 7 on the shot, and there's going to be a foul called, and that is Southwell.
Well, Jordan Henriquez playing with a heavy heart tonight. He's lost his grandmother yesterday. He'll head back to New York tomorrow. But when they play well, Brent, especially defensively, he does a great job of protecting the rim.
Now they get a fresh 35. Gets it off into the corner to Aaron Harris. Kalichla attacked by Henriquez, and it West Virginia basketball. I believe a foul was called by Joe DeRosa.
Well, that's hard to tell. Let's take a look.
Tied it up. It certainly looked like a tie-up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does go over. It was not a, and it was a foul, incidentally. So Kalichla did pick up the foul right now as confirmation. It looked like DeRosa was calling a personal foul when he came out of there.
I didn't see it, and I think that's what
Huggins wants an explanation. Wasn't it just a tied-up basketball?
That's exactly. That's what I thought.
Getting Kalichla in early foul trouble was a problem the other day, and it'll be a problem here tonight.
Well, when Kalichla plays, there's always a lot of contact inside both ways.
Spradling, who was early out. to practice shooting. Nails a 3-ball.
Now, this team is so much more cohesive than the one we saw in November and December.
This is Harris again. Now Hines off the dribble, kicks over to the corner. Here's Harris. Spot up, not there. Enriquez tracks down the loose ball. Rodriguez puts it on the deck, penetrates, saved. Corner shot for 3 is good. Southwell.
This guy is on fire from behind the arc over the last few games.
Misfires. Enriquez doing his job on the glass. Rodriguez and almost had a beautiful play, but the pass was too difficult to handle. And quickly Rutledge comes to the attack along with Harris for the Mountaineers. Rutledge kisses it in beautifully. Mistake down here at this end on a Rodriguez pass.
And a smart move by Rutledge, who had Spradling on him. Harris got him the ball. Rutledge went to work.
Now it's Magruder.
Good pressure
all over him after he picked up his dribble. Ball out of bounds. It will be K-State basketball when you come back. 15:52 left here in the first half. And it is a 6-4 game thanks to this 3 from the young man from Harlem.
ESPN.
He did not.
Michigan State.
Exactly.
That'll be fun because he'll be saying, Magic, you should have come and played for me, baby.
Speaking of Big Ten.
Yeah, there we are.
Bruce Weber. You know, he told us a few weeks ago that one of the reasons he believes in motion offense was they played at Purdue, Indiana about 40 times during his 18 years. And he said he got the idea from watching and defending and scouting Indiana and Bob Knight's motion offense. They run it really well, Brent. They don't turn the ball over.
Southwell out on top, knocked away by Harris. Harris, young man with a good future in West Virginia. I think, Fran, you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Out of a famed high school program in Indianapolis, Lawrence North produced Eric Montross and Greg Oden, Mike Conley Jr.
Back over to the corner. And this time it's Magruder. Same spot, different shooter.
Well, that's the advantage you have with Shane Southwell on the floor. He's your power forward, but he's really a fourth guard.
Hines having trouble with Rodriguez. Finally got into the attack for the Mountaineers. Murray is going to be checking into the game, and this is down away from the ball. The big man picks up a quick foul. It was Gibson who entered the game.
This is deja vu for Thomas Gibson, because in that first meeting he played about 9 minutes with picking up 4 fouls quickly.
Harris wanted to catch and shoot, but Magruder was on him. Murray, who checked in, is stripped, turns it over. Head man is Magruder. Back Rodriguez, driving left-handed layup, and Harris is there on top of him. And a foul is called on him.
That started with great defensive help, because Murray thought he had the post-up mismatch, steal, kick out, and these teams are great in transition. Watch the help now. I think it's Spradling, Brent. He gets a piece of it, and they know what to do with that basketball when they get out in transition.
So young Harris picked up his second foul on that play, and Henderson will replace him right now. Terry Henderson, the freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, replaces Harris, and that could be a big loss offensively, because it's a struggle for Huggins and the Mountaineers to find scores.
I agree, and you know, there are Mountaineer fans that wonder why the 2 freshmen don't play more. Coaching staff said they're not ready to allow them to be what they are defensively, and they don't feed the post well.
Rodriguez, fine defensive guard. And I mean, Hines goes to the floor, ball on the floor. Kalichla has to dive for it. Rodriguez is forcing all kinds of chaos right now. And that foul goes against West Virginia, and that's on Gary Brown.
I'm going to tell you, Brent, we talk about Rodriguez and the improvement on the offensive end. He is a Tasmanian devil in defending that.
That Huggins has got to be concerned with it now. He's got more fouls than points here in the early going. Now Irving checks in, and they'll get
this year.
So right now Kansas State is picking up where they left off over the weekend against Baylor. Tough defense.
Well, they're switching everything, Brent.
Knocked away. It's a nightmare start here for Huggins and the Mountaineers. That spot's open again. Not this time. Murray controlled it. Loose ball.
When you have 4 guards out there, you can switch all these cross screens. West Virginia running a motion offense, so when players come together, they just switch it.
Another turnover. Ball loose on the floor, and it will be Wildcat basketball. Loose ball picked up by Kansas State. Spradling drops it inside, and the big man scores. Thomas Gibson, 6'7", out of Cedar Hill, Texas, pounds it in, and Kansas State pulling away early.
Well, he's been in and out of the starting lineup, but Bruce Weber very comfortable now with the sophomore coming off the bench. Doesn't get in foul trouble as easily that way to start games, and the numbers kind of speak for themselves. Had a huge game against his home state, Texas Longhorns, 17 points and 7 rebounds.
You know, friend, a week ago over in Lawrence, Kansas State was basically run out of the building by the Jayhawks. But the next 2 games, including the start here tonight, this has been an entirely different basketball team.
That's right. You got to have selective memory when you play conference basketball. You lose at Kansas, you got to put it behind you. You can't let 1 loss become 2. And that's what this team has done well last 2 games.
Foul on the entry pass, and that's going to go against Irving. Now that's the 4th team foul against Kansas State. And there are 16 fouls against West Virginia here. A lot of time left in the first half. Murray backs in, muscles in, no, tapped away, K-State.
Well, it's the second time he's tried to go to work on a smaller Southwell, and Southwell held his ground.
Spradling off the dribble. Irving covered by Murray, and so here's Gibson. Kalichla's there, goes to the left, and 1, and Kalichla has picked up another personal foul.
Now that was excellent low post footwork by Thomas Gibson right there. And everybody touched the ball in that possession, Brent. That ball went side to side until it went inside. Watch Gibson look middle, recognize where Kalichla is, and then watch the drop step. And he uses that right shoulder to protect that left jump hook off the glass. That's textbook.
Number 42, Thomas Gibson.
Now Kalichla will sit with that second personal. Gibson steps up to the free throw line. Miles has checked in. Keaton Miles, 6'7" sophomore out of Dallas for West Virginia. And the Mountaineers are down a dozen early here. Staten running the team. Henderson misses on the 3. Loose. West Virginia basketball. Staten will bring it back. Looking for daylight. Cruises in, kick back out.
Good pressure.
.16 on that shot. Staten is covered. Open is Brown. Battle for the loose ball. West Virginia's got it, and down he goes, and he traveled. Gary Brown traveled. This is an unhappy return so far in this game. Yes, indeed. No hugging in basketball. Well, West Virginia struggling here in the early going, and look at that big head over there, Fran. That's the best looking big head since Miss Alabama made that appearance at West Virginia. Who is that?
Looks familiar. That looks like Mike Roy, our director that's in the truck. How much did he pay those guys to get his picture on national TV?
That's unbelievable.
Doesn't
he put himself in the stand?
Yeah, and the director controls the camera.
He does, Roy.
So he put himself on TV.
Yeah, meanwhile, Super Tuesday, and it's a good one, folks. Indiana, Michigan State, Florida, Missouri. Roy, we love you.
Well, big story tomorrow night, Brent, will be Victor Oladipo, who is going to play.
He's gonna play?
Yep.
He's a candidate for Player of the Year.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you, I've been so impressed in watching him for the last few games for the Hoosiers.
Much improved. He was so good defensively, but this year offensively, he's taken his game to the top level in college basketball.
I had to look at my watch to make sure it wasn't April Fool's when we had to when we put that big head up over there. And man, we're looking at an unhappy camper right now, folks. It has been a real struggle this season as far as Bob Huggins and West Virginia are concerned.
Now they're playing a very good basketball team, and there are a number of players on this K-State roster that some way, shape, or form were affected by coming here because of Bob Huggins.
No question. Remember, it was Huggins who brought Frank Martin in here, and Martin, of course, had connections in Washington and Miami. Rodriguez came here, who's got the basketball right now simply because of Frank Martin, and Bruce Weber basically had to re-recruit him. Gibson steps out and knocks down the J.
Well, a terrific job of maintaining his balance. Ball handling by Rodriguez. Thomas Gibson with a nice lift off the bench. He's playing better off the bench, Brent.
Here's Staten whipping it over to the left. And now it's, you fall out of a game like this and you're a young team and you haven't experienced much success like Huggins' team. It is such a struggle to dig back in. A veteran team and ones that have been down before, they know it's one basket at a time, one defensive possession at a time. But it's a nightmare for a team like West Virginia in a situation like this.
I agree. Used to tell my teams, you got to play TV timeout to TV timeout.
Exactly.
Just play 4-minute games.
Well, that was Murray hitting a nice shot for the Mountaineers, and now they just have to go possession at a time here and see what they can do to try to dig back in this.
And you can see West Virginia trying to speed Rodriguez up, and that's the biggest difference this year. He doesn't allow the defense to do that.
Whipped in on the inside. That was a beautiful play. What a fine pass that was. But we'll take a break after the field goal by Amari Lawrence. He's a young man for the Bronx. 20-6. 10.5 minutes. Half the first half remaining, and the Mountaineers with only 6 points for Coach Huggins here. Going to be a struggle.
Well, to your point about Bob Huggins, you got Diaz on the floor, Rodriguez, and Martavius Irving, 3 Florida kids that Frank Martin brought here. Frank Martin was brought here by Bob Huggins. Delonte Hill was an assistant here, now at Maryland. He brought Rodney Samuels, Rodney Magruder, Michael Beasley.
Miles puts it on the deck. Jump shot. And out of bounds, it'll go over to Kansas State. So at least for the time being, Fran, if Kansas State can go on and win this game tonight, they will be in first place in the Big 12 pending the outcome Wednesday night. A very good game coming up between Kansas and Oklahoma State. Rodriguez spins, nothing there. Cleaned up by the Mountaineers, and a loose ball, and Irving fouled him.
Well, Gallagher
gets out of, that's right, going to be over on the sideline. Rodriguez hit hard on France.
Yeah, he got into the lane, watched the spin move, tries to draw contact, doesn't get the call, good no call, but he lands hard. I think what Bruce Weber's done a really nice job of this season is developing depth. Now you have Irving and Amari Lawrence, DJ Johnson, Gibson off the bench. It's no longer a one-man team led by Magruder.
Yeah, the question for Weber is going to be filling the talent cabinet here when it starts to empty up a little bit, and stepping out and knocking down that jump shot was Eric Murray again. That's 2 field goals for him, but recruiting was the bugaboo for Coach Weber down in Champaign. He had a difficult time recruiting some of those Chicago youngsters, and now he's got to fill the cupboard here.
Exactly.
Manhattan.
No, they're going down into Texas, which they should do. A lot of talent down there. 4 starters will return next year, so they'll still be in pretty good shape. If you consider Gibson a starter who plays like starters minutes.
Southwell knocked away. Loose ball. They scrum on the floor, and it's held up. I'm surprised they didn't blow that whistle a little bit earlier in West Virginia basketball. You know, friend, because you benefit because you live in Dallas. One of the things that's changing the sports culture here is the fact that American Airlines has nonstop flights coming in from Dallas and Chicago. That's a big difference when you go out and recruit youngsters.
Oh, I
in those
totally
sections of the
agree.
country.
You asked Bill Snyder about that, you know, now, because I think the NCAA outlawed those private jets for recruiting. So now they've got those direct flights. It's a 2-hour drive from Kansas City, and certainly hasn't affected Kansas State football, Brent.
Not at all. And so much talent being uncovered down in the Texas area around Dallas. Basketball talent. Henderson shot misfires, and Murray again. Murray putting on a little bit of a show here tonight, trying to get West Virginia back in this. Ball is out of bounds. The Mountaineers will have possession.
You know, Eric Murray's had 3 point-blank opportunities. You'll love his effort tonight.
Well, he's going to try to lead the way and get it back to single digits, and that's step number 1 in a situation like this. Fresh shot clock, and there's contact down away from the ball. That's Southwell. That's his second personal foul. He's gonna have to come out. Rodriguez is coming back in, and Nino Williams, the 6'5" sophomore from St. Louis,
You know,
also check in.
I think, Brent, a big turning point for this team early in conference play. Rodney Magruder got, there's another foul. It's good. You got to adjust. But there were 2 games where Magruder picked up 2 fouls early, and they basically played both games without him. Yeah, see, I think right now, if you're a player on the court, you got 3 officials that are calling it tight. You need to adjust, not the officials. All they're doing is officiating the rule book.
Now you can yell that a call is fertilizer, but they're not changing it.
No, no.
Wildcat basketball. Spradling. Beautiful curl.
That was terrific execution. Little ball screen action. Pull-up jumper, Spradling. The no-mistake guy.
So we will take a break. (22-8), Fran, and let's go inside the play.
Good execution right here. Watch the freshman Henderson get caught up on these screens. Henderson's going to come off. They're going to swing this ball. Henderson's right here. See him right there. Now watch how he runs. He's like a Velcro into the screen. Doesn't get loose. Stuck right there. Little one dribble pull-up rhythm jumper by Will Spradling. I like to call this guy the no-mistake guy because he's out there. He's not flashy. Just does his job.
Fresh bodies on the floor, and we haven't seen him much, Fran. Matt Humphrey, who transferred from Boston College, has checked in from Huggins. He's number 21, coming off of a curl right here. Been a bit of a disappointment for West Virginia. It gets away from Murray, and there's a turnover. You know, these 3 transfers, Staten, Humphrey, and Murray, were supposed to lead the way, and they have not for the Mountaineers. So overall, as a group, it's been pretty disappointing.
Oh, I agree. And Humphreys also had some bad luck with shoulder injuries, but he's a double transfer, as you know. Started at Oregon, a Chicago kid. He's been well traveled.
Dives in, and they get on Magruder, but he puts it back and still can't put it away. Rodriguez underneath and travel. West Virginia ball. 7:46. Well, the man who restored the Kansas State basketball program. We'll take a look at Bob the Builder when we come back.
excited about coming here and continuing to build this basketball program and playing in the NCAA tournament. You've got great athletics here, and you've got great leadership here. And so there isn't any reason why you can't have great basketball here.
Well, the one thing I want to say about Huggy, when he was hired by his alma mater and left, he left Frank Martin in place here. Because I'm here to tell you, folks, if Frank Martin had gone with him, Michael Beasley, among others, even though he was a one-and-done guy, so he might have changed his mind, but there would have been a talent migration to go with him, and Huggins did not do that. He did not strip Kansas State as he left town. Would you agree with me?
Not only do I agree with you, but if you're a Kansas State fan, you ought to be, you know, bowing down at what Huggins did, because he really resurrected this program.
No question. Murray steps out, won't stay down. K-State basketball, they've dominated from the opening tip, which they controlled. Jump pass is a beauty. Wow, what a pass there by Rodriguez, showing you why he was the co-Big 12 Player of the Week.
Well, there's so many good point guards in college basketball this year. Next year, Angel Rodriguez will be on all those lists, I guarantee you.
The State, they'd like to get in there, transfer from Dayton, and put back by Miles. Not to be, there was a whistle. And the foul is going to be called. I want to show you those who are playing with 2 fouls, and it really hampered West Virginia early. When you put Kalichla and Harris over there on the bench, you got a problem with this Mountaineer team. It's easier to replace it. Deeper team is Kansas State.
Now remember, you know this, West Virginia does not have a double-figure scorer in its lineup, and the 2 guys that they can count on are the 2 guys that are sitting on the bench right now.
Exactly. For example, a Big 12 play, Harris is averaging 12 points, and Kalichla in Big 12 play is averaging almost 10. And so that's their 2 leading scorers in the conference sitting over there. We're not trying to make excuses for them. They haven't played well, but you still are very shorthanded. And the goal of Huggins here for this last 7 minutes is to try to get this down to 9 or 8 if they can.
No, I would agree with you. It's a psychological barrier where they're going zone right now to see if they can shake up the momentum of Kansas State right now. Just give them a different look, throw them some curveballs. This is a well-oiled Kansas State machine over the last 6 weeks.
Enriquez with that high screen for Rodriguez. There's 8 on the shot. Now they go to work. Williams knocks down another one. He's been the recipient of the last 2 assists from Rodriguez.
I don't know how Angel Rodriguez saw him in the corner, but that was terrific vision.
Humphreys whips it over to State. And Enriquez runs out and just commits a silly foul.
Smart play by State and ran right into it. But watch this vision now right here, Brent. Watch Rodriguez. He goes up looking like he's going to shoot it. Nino Williams gets 2. Now this is a good one right here. Boom, right behind the defense. And Nino Williams again. He's going to take him out for some cozy in burgers, I think, if he keeps feeding them like that.
Hey, you touted me and our scorer George Hill on that, and we went to the cozy inn. And how'd you know about that place?
I got sources here in Manhattan. You know, I don't eat at McAllister's all the time.
The only other one's down in Texas, isn't it?
No, Salina, Kansas.
Oh, Salina was where the other one was.
Exactly.
Okay. At the military base, that's where they used to line up for it.
That's what I understand.
And a big tradition. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if Rodriguez keeps passing the way he's passing, those guys, all those teammates are going to be taking him out to eat.
It's going to be that kind of night. We're going to review restaurants, huh, partner?
Oh, yeah. Wait till we get into donuts.
I got beer at that old Chicago place, too. I can't forget that now. And here's McGruger. Yeah, what a fine basketball player he is. Spradling. Catching, pop it up with Rodriguez off the iron. Controlled by Murray.
Hey, Murray's done a good job tonight. He's come up empty inside, but his effort has been very good.
Yeah, so the 3 transfers tried to do it here tonight. Hines back on the floor, running the point. But here is Staten. Hines, boy, the 3 ball would help him right now, wouldn't it? As Rodriguez goes to the floor, and there's another foul.
Tell you, the big fella, he's been up and down a little this year, but he gives you that shot blocking at the rim. He had 17 rebounds in the NCAA tournament last year against Syracuse, Jordan Henriquez.
And, you know, they've gotten a penalty fast, and so they're going to come up here now.
Now, here's the problem for Henriquez, a very poor foul shooter, so you have to stay alert if you're Magruder.
Friend,
Nino
when you
Williams.
look at somebody like that who has this kind of a form, can he change this at all?
Yeah, I think he can. I think what you do with shooters is you try to eliminate as many moving parts as possible.
Right.
Oftentimes when a big guy struggles, and you see the numbers right there, it's because there's a lot going on, and you try to eliminate, keep the ball from your chest up, short follow through. That doesn't look too bad right there.
Yeah, it did.
You know?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Gibson replaces him right now.
But it's like a watch. You know, more can go wrong with a watch, the more moving parts. Same thing with free throw shooting.
Humphrey will bring it up, and foul's going to be on. That's Magruder. Well, I thought the foul was going to be on Spradling, and it was on Magruder.
You know, if the state troopers ticketed you for going 65, then don't go 67. That's what you have to do here. You have to adjust.
You're too kind to the officials.
Well, no, I'm not. I know as a coach, you wanted him to be consistent both ways, and there's just too much contact. You know, coaches are complaining about all the contact in college basketball this year. So when you have three guys refereeing the rule book, you adjust. Simple. And Bruce Weber deep down knows that too.
Matt Humphrey missed his first free throw.
You know, the one thing you can say about these guys is they've been consistent on both ends of the floor.
The crowd just said, yeah, consistently bad. Kruger out on top. Here's Spradling. Put it on the deck and attack. Got it back. Bad pass. Humphrey there. Coming down. Lays it in. Beautiful anticipation by Matt Frank.
Absolutely. You don't see Spradling do that often. Grabbed the rebound. He thought he had Magruder, and he threw a cross-court pass. Good anticipation.
Four and a half minutes remain here in the first half.
They're trying to use that screening action right now.
Magruder pops out. Not there. Tracked down, though, by Kansas State. And there's the first possession.
Absolutely. And you know what? Gibson and Williams, that's exactly what they do. They hit those weak side boards.
Long three, Rodriguez not there. And this time it'll be West Virginia basketball. He traveled, pulled the rebound, and now Huggins is upset.
Well, he shouldn't be yelling at Don Daly because Joe DeRosa made the call underneath.
Closest ear.
Yeah.
And Rutledge told Fran that he was checking in. He thinks you're the scorer. 4-11. Almost stolen again on a sloppy pass, but Spradling regained control. Humphrey is on Spradling. He gives it up inside. Traveling is the call. Go back to West Virginia now. So we'll take a break. All right, and very, very good doubleheader tomorrow night. And incidentally, Frank, you and I were talking. Bruce Weber's defense has limited West Virginia around the perimeter. The Mountaineers 0 for 6 the long ball here tonight.
Part of that is Harris on the bench with 2. Rutledge has been a very good stroker recently from behind the arc. Juwan Staten has not made a 3 in his entire West Virginia career.
And the Mountaineers having trouble with the basketball. They've got only 2 assists and 8 turnovers here in the early going. And meanwhile, Kansas State has 9 assists and 6 turnovers. They've hit 3 long balls.
You've still got time to get that lead into single figures before you head to the locker room.
That's question. Marine back on the floor for Coach Huggins. Humphrey catch and shoot. Battle for the rebound. K-State.
There was a set play coming out, and they got Humphrey a good look.
Inside of 3.5 minutes here.
It's a little continuity action right here.
10 on the shot. Spradley covered up now by Humphrey. And has to use it to get out of bounds. But you've got 5 on the shot clock.
Well, they said it went off. That's what I thought, too. It went off Spradling. I couldn't tell in that deep corner. He got a timeout. That's what he did. Take a look now. He's going to throw it off Humphrey. Did it hit? Can't really tell if it hits Spradling there, but it doesn't matter because Kansas State called timeout. That timeout could have come from Bruce Weber.
Did it hit his left leg or not would be the question.
But I think they may have taken the timeout before that, and that's why they signaled it.
Been a tough year for traveling for the Mountaineers. Take a look at the miles, total miles when the season ends for all their games will be in excess of 31,000 miles. Fran, one thing the Big 12 has to do in the offseason, they've got to have 2-game road trips for the Mountaineers when they move from Morgantown. They've got to, put a Saturday, Monday rotation on when you come and you play Baylor, go play Texas.
Totally.
You've got to keep these kids on the road and not have they're going to get back in early in the morning. And he's got a couple of students here in business school on his West Virginia team. A little bit tough economics courses. You want to be back in school.
Exactly.
Gibson fouled, and he'll be shooting a couple of free throws. Marine got him.
I think that they will. The Big 12 will do that. I also think you can play some road trips before the start of the spring semester in early January. And many leagues around the country, you remember, even now, still in the Pac-12, you play Thursday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday. I think it's an accommodation that West Virginia needs to have,
I agree.
to give them at least some competitive balance, because these road trips will wear on you.
And then I talked to those TV rascals. Who are they anyway? Anyway, when you have a big Monday game in Morgantown, let's move it from 9 to 7.
I like that idea.
A lot better for the fans and the students.
Let's flip it around every now and then.
We'll have to talk to some of those TV rascals.
You know anybody up there in Bristol?
They're not answering my phone calls lately.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
What
the world have I been up to?
You're going to see A.J. McCarron next week.
I am indeed.
Birmingham. The touchdown. Tell him I said hello.
I shall. Coach Saban, coach, did a great job. They'll be #1 when the football season starts next August. Those early polls that'll come out. See if he can make it 3 in a row. It won't be easy. Loose, picked up by Rutledge. Diaz all over him, knocked loose. Well, what great defense Kansas State plays. Murray puts it on the deck, muscles in, nothing doing, got it back, hook shot short, and Gibson cleans it up for the Wildcat. Terrific defense.
Sure, that was a terrific job by Thomas Gibson, just not fouling because Murray was so active in there.
Gibson has it knocked away, turned it over.
Adrian Diaz clapping his hands, thinking he had an assist right there. Big to big. Wants to play a little small forward.
For Diaz.
Yeah. I know I'm 6'11", but I can play out on the perimeter a little.
Kansas State doubling up here at 30-15. Murray from the corner to Hines. Staten out on top. Inside of 10 now on the shot. Staten pulls up the jump shot. Well, this is as good a defense as you're going to see that K-State's playing. And they did the same thing against Baylor.
Absolutely.
The game on Saturday that I watched.
Well, a couple Saturdays ago against Oklahoma, they kept the Sooners 10 minutes without a field goal.
Bradling's 3 ball, and that's when he came out. They practiced there early tonight.
And that's smart because that's a shot they get a lot in their offense, that curl from the weak side in that motion offense.
They didn't give ground, did they? In fact, they built on that lead. Rutledge. Hines knocks down a long ball. That's their first long ball of the game. They're now 1 for 8.
And here's a situation right here, Brent. This would be great 2 for 1 right here. Let's see if they get a quick shot. They're going to have to get it soon. I don't think they're going to do it. No.
It looks like he's going to pull it out.
Yep.
Yeah. In control, 33-18. Knocked away, turned it over. Now it's West Virginia. Headman's Hines, long, dangerous pass. Beautiful finish.
This is the way you want to finish if you're the Mountaineers now. A couple quick baskets.
Now they need a stop. Trailing it by 13. Shot clock is off. Rodriguez will wait till inside of 10.
Here comes a ball screen.
Look at that right corner's been open in the first half. They're going to go left high, tough pass. With 2.8 left on the shot clock.
Good teams have a low clock play, something that would entail a catch and shoot or a catch one dribble and shoot. There it is.
And blocked by Murray. A spectacular defensive move by Eric Murray on that last shot.
He's giving them a good effort around the rim. Let's take a look now. Gibson babied it up because he thought he had the easy layup. Let's see if that ball was on the way down or not. There's the cut. I like that call. I think that ball's still going up, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. So Kansas State leaves with a big lead here in the first half. And right now, let's go to Reese Davis, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Williams with the UPS halftime report. Take it away, Reese.